Nope.
Jeez.
I do not.
Sorry, there's
No problem. I got him. 3-2 your final. Next on Fox, don't miss the Subway Fresh Fit 600 from Phoenix coming up. Well, it says at the conclusion of the game here, Carol. That doesn't make any sense. Bonus coverage. Which card are we doing? Okay. Got it. All right, you ready? Tonight on Fox, don't miss the Subway Fresh Fit 600 from Phoenix starting at 7, 6 Central. MLB on Fox will continue next Saturday at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Paid for by the following. Paid for by the following. I know. Do it again. chasing AL West rival Seattle. And we welcome you to once again our coverage here on Fox of the Major Leagues. Along with Mark Grace, I'm Josh Lewin. The teams today chasing the Angels. They have won this division a bunch in the last few years, but they lost both Sean Figgins and Vlad Guerrero into these two teams.
Yeah, two guys that really helped the Angels win division titles the last couple of years. Now, we're going to see them here this afternoon. One's off to a great start, and one is just a matter of time.
Well, and for Vlad Guerrero, yeah, quick start's about right. He's hitting .600 right now. That leads the American League. All kinds of star power on display today. Felix Hernandez is on the mound for the Mariners. And some of the other faces you'll be seeing today swinging the bats. The Rangers and the Mariners are coming up next on Fox. The Rangers won last night. They're 2-2. The Mariners out of the chute at just 1-4. Same as the Angels, by the way. Don Wakamatsu, who now lives here in this Metroplex. This is the first of 3 games he'll see today. He goes from here to Mansfield, Texas to watch his 13-year-old son Luke in a doubleheader tonight. Seattle's starting lineup, since brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Ichiro and Sean Figgins, they're the catalysts here at the top, but they're both out pretty slowly. Figgins hitting just 176. Gutierrez and Lopez, Milton Bradley, always combustible, and there's a story there that we'll get to later. Mike Sweeney, Casey Kotzman, Rob Johnson, and Jack Wilson. This game brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the thirst inning, the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. That's Budweiser. It's what we do. And Mark Grace, what you do now is analyze pitchers like this guy. This is Matt Harrison in the Sprint Pitcher Profile, the guy that was brought in from the Atlanta Braves organization, part of that big Mark Teixeira deal. Here's the career numbers for Matt Harrison. And again, scouting him out courtesy of Sprint.
Yeah, he's a big left-hander. He's a guy that has really benefited from a lot of run support. His record is solid, 12-7, but he's been the benefit. But he's actually lost some weight, folks. This is a big man, but he's lost about 30 pounds. So he's gone from a burly man to more like Chicago White Sox left-hander Mark Burley.
You are Mr. Play on Words.
Yeah, more a guy now that not near as hard a thrower as he used to be, but a guy that more finesses you. That was good. You liked that one, didn't you?
I love that.
Thanks.
That's real nice.
I came up with that myself.
Harrison, who, is 30 pounds slimmer, says he laid off his wife's chocolate chip cookies during the offseason. Well, deal strike one to Ichiro. 72 degrees at game time today. And you can see that Mark Burley comparison tempo-wise. He just gets that ball and goes.
Give me a sign. I'm not going to shake.
Ichiro. Andrews to first, one down. Other than Elvis Andrews, other Rangers to talk about. The defensive lineup for the Rangers brought to you by Scotts. Hamilton, Bourbon, and Cruz roam the outfield. A lot of outfield to cover here in Arlington. Young, Andrews, Arias, and Davis in the infield. And a native Texan, Taylor Teagarden, catching Matt Harrison. And Gracie, you were talking right at the top of the show. Sean Figgins was probably, even though he's the shortest guy on the team, he's the biggest name that was brought in during the offseason. Seattle 29th last year in on-base percentage, and you add this guy, you're probably going to do better.
Yeah, they were just so limited offensively last year, were the Seattle Mariners, and this is a guy that's the ultimate spark plug. The guy that once he gets on base, he scores. He just hadn't been on base much so far early going this year. Well, this kid works fast, doesn't he?
He's got that kind of push towards the plate that I think is a little bit disorienting for guys that haven't seen him a lot. You'll see that extra little step that he takes here, just right there. But you're not supposed to watch the feet, right? You're supposed to watch the ball.
You're supposed to watch the release point. And for him, that's just off his left shoulder.
Harrison was matched up against Felix Hernandez in a game here last May, and he beat him with a complete Game 5 hitter. Laced in the left field, base hit for Figgins. And now that he's on, he will look to run. There's your home plate umpire, the winemaker, Ed Rapiano. You ever had the Ed Rapiano label?
I've never had his wine, no, and I didn't know you had a label. Tell me about it.
Well, I've never had it either. I just know that he makes his own wine. There's no like Mark Grace Shiraz out there on the market.
No, there's not.
All right.
They might call it Ripple. One of the best in the business, though, Ed Rapiano, and a friend of the show. All umpires are friends of the show.
We do aim to please. We would try to put that out there. There was an umpire recently, Joe West, and put it out there about pace of game. He would love Matt Harrison.
Oh, my goodness. This would make Joe West very happy, getting this kid on the mound, working fast, throwing strikes. What do you think about that with Joe West? I kind of agree with him. I think the Yanks and the Red Sox, they need to speed it up.
I think you said what the rest of America was thinking.
I think you're right.
Whether or not it's supposed to come from an umpire, I don't know, but
get in the batter's box and let's play baseball. Get on the mound, get your sign, and throw it. Let's go.
Well, Matt Harrison already in receipt of that memo, no doubt. And even with Figgins at first, and he's got to be mindful of that. Works quickly to Gutierrez. It's 2-1. Good times for Matt Harrison, big time Duke Blue Devils fan. I think it went well for the Dukies recently.
Very well.
And yeah,
you got to admit, I was rooting for the other team.
You love the underdog.
Yeah, it would have been a great story, but congratulations to Coach K and his Blue Devils.
You can't play for the Cubs all those years and not root for the underdog. Gutierrez smashing it foul down that left side. And just to finish up on Harrison, that was the Mark Teixeira deal. The Rangers getting rid of a great player. And Atlanta didn't keep him around for even 13 months, as it turned out. And the haul that the Rangers got back, that is right now kind of the cornerstone trade that general manager John Daniels has made. Elvis Andrews, the shortstop, looks like he'll be the team's shortstop for another 10 or dozen years.
Yes.
Yeah. Runner goes. That ball punched towards center field. Bourbon coming on. Can't get it. And Figgins jets to third. That's only the 5th inning in 6 games now for Seattle, where they've had 2 hits in 1 inning.
That's just an unheard of stat. But what, right off the end of the bat, and just a little, well, you should probably say a Texas leaguer since we're here in Arlington. And Figgins, great read, running hard all the way, first and third, Seattle Mariners. And that's amazing. Only the 6th time all season that the Mariners have had 2 hits in an inning or more.
And that really does help to explain the 1-4 start. Jose Lopez, the batter. Lopez batting cleanup today. Remember a few years ago, him coming up and batting 8th and 9th.
Yeah, now he's a cleanup guy.
He's a guy that's got 42 homers his last 2 years.
Drove in 96 last year for a Mariners team that really struggled offensively.
Well, and this is, yeah, I mean, it's a good point, Gracie. We talk about the importance of bringing in guys like Figgins and Bradley, the high on base percentage guys. Lopez last year had more home runs than walks. It was 25 to 24.
Good pitch there from Harrison, right in on the hands of Lopez. Trying to crowd him. Don't let him get his arms extended. Watch Teagarden's glove. It never moves. That's a quality pitch there from the left-hander. Just tied Lopez up.
Getting away from Teagarden this time. And Seattle takes a 1-0 lead on a wild pitch. A lot of movement on most everything Harrison throws. That one moving away from Teagarden.
Yeah, perfect pitch. The one prior, that one gets away. That's one that Taylor Teagarden will tell you he should have blocked. That ball is cleanly right in front of him. That's a ball that 9 out of 10 times Major League catcher is going to block that, but it skips away. Now an opportunity for a big inning for the Seattle Mariners.
Double play possibility erased too. That ball whacked into left field. Josh Hamilton, who's got a great arm, comes up and he's got it. He'll air it out. Teagarden's waiting. Good Mariners. Josh Hamilton was an unbelievable pitcher in high school. Threw the ball 96 miles an hour off the mound.
And that's 96 right on the button. Teagarden waiting on Gutierrez. Well, that is a dangerous play right there by the Mariners, especially early in the ball game. The 3rd hit of the inning, and you get a runner thrown out on one of the best arms in all of baseball, Josh Hamilton, as you said, Josh Lewin.
Smattering of boos now as Milton Bradley comes up. Of course, Milton had a very solid season as a Ranger just 2 years ago, but last night in this ballpark, he had his first official regular season Milton moment as a Mariner. Getting into it with the fans down the left field line and then again behind the dugout after a subsequent at bat. It just seemed like one of those games where Milton was just kind of locked into being in a bad mood.
And that's what will happen with Milton Bradley sometimes. And I want to preface before I say anything, I think he's a good guy. I like Milton Bradley, but unfortunately, sometimes he gets away from what's important. And what's important is going out and doing your best to win baseball games. And I think Milton sometimes thinks that a lot of people are out to get him or out to hurt him, and that's really not the case. Most people want good things for Milton Bradley.
And he's surrounded by players who are trying to remind him of that. There's just an academy of nice guys in that Seattle clubhouse, but you know, you just get the sense, unfortunately, Gracie, they could have Oprah, Tony Robbins, and Gandhi in there, and he would still feel disrespected.
And it just, the defiance after a while starts to wear on managers and organizations.
Well, he's getting frustrated. He's now 1 for 18 to start the year. Seattle has scored once. Rangers coming up next. Washington's lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Julio Bourbon still hitless for the year, 0 for 16. Then the All-Stars, Young, Hamilton, Guerrero, Nelly Cruz. Young first baseman Chris Davis, Joaquin Arias in for the ailing Ian Kinsler. Taylor Teagarden and Elvis Andrus rounded out. And Bourbon just dying for a hit. He's going to swing at the first one, something he's been asked not to do, but he's going to loft it to left, and he's quickly disposed of. Felix Hernandez, strike throwing machine. And last year, at the age of 23, Mark Gracie dominated. A league best 19 wins, only 5 losses, 2.49 ERA.
No, just the amazing stuff in this youngster. Just turned 24 years old. And a guy that, if you're an opponent, you don't want to see this guy on the mound because he is a perennial Cy Young Award candidate. And he just turned 24, but I think it's fair, Josh, to call him a veteran, wouldn't it be?
I agree. That's your sprint pitcher profile for King Felix. And, yeah, I mean, he was kind of anointed the king before he was old enough to wear the crown, you know. So we've been talking about him for forever. And that probably is in play, to start talking about him as a guy who's been there, done that.
I agree. He's been around now for 5 years. He's dominated. He's been terrific ever since he came on and burst on the scene as a youngster. Throws a sinker ball in the mid-90s. Got great command. Got a no decision his first start in Oakland. Got a little wild, which is not like King Felix. Walked 6 in 6 innings.
Slowly hit up near third by Michael Young. Lopez has got him. The defensive lineup for the Mariners brought to you by Scott's. And again, Milton Bradley had a combustible moment yesterday. There's extra security out there in left field today, by the way, for Milton. Lopez, Wilson, Figgins, Kochman around the horn. Hernandez works to Rob Johnson.
And I kind of like what Don Wakamatsu, the manager of the Mariners, has done after a Milton Bradley moment, running right back out there in left field and let him face his demons.
I'm talking about a guy who has stared down demons. Josh Hamilton, and his story certainly has become so famous in baseball circles. Says he never gets tired of telling his story. Sees it as kind of an obligation.
King Felix might have hurt himself.
Yeah, something's not quite right. Where he landed, maybe?
Maybe an ankle or... And a large, oh no, was heard up in the great Northwest.
Cliff Lee is already on the DL. Of course, Eric Bedard is going to be there for a while. It didn't look like anything too serious, but Felix Hernandez is the goods.
Maybe a groin, maybe a hamstring, something like that. It looked like he didn't land on his ankle wrong. He didn't look like he rolled an ankle. Well, this would be the last thing this Mariner team would need. Already missing Cliff Lee.
Lee threw 25 pitches in the bullpen yesterday, said he was pain-free, and it's looking like early May for Cliff Lee to come back.
It looks like his front ankle, the left ankle, lands free and easy. But all of a sudden you see, that hurt a little bit.
Pounded out of play by Josh Hamilton, who's only 2 of 21 lifetime against Felix Hernandez.
I think a lot of people can say that about Felix, though. It's tough to own this guy. Yeah, it looks like Hernandez is bouncing around nicely out there. Just a little blip on the radar.
Payoff pitch, and Josh Hamilton, though he hasn't been hitting a lot yet, he has been walking, and that's probably a good sign, not trying to do too much.
That's usually a sign that a hitter is going to come out of it shortly, is when he starts drawing walks, because that means he's not expanding the strike zone, Josh. It means he's making the pitcher throw strikes. Right now, he's just not hitting the strikes, but eventually Josh Hamilton will. This guy's been hitting everything.
Oh. Very few other Rangers are hitting anything. You're right. Vlad Guerrero's hitting everything. Wow. Did he really make contact with that?
Only Vladimir Guerrero would even think of swinging at a pitch that would have hit him right in the sternum. And yes, he hit that. I know you're hot, Vlad, but settle down, son.
Ranger fans want to see if he can do for the Rangers what he used to do to the Rangers. As their GM John Daniels said, we've been on the bad end of this man's beatings for the last 6 years, so we're pretty excited to watch him dole out some of those in our uniform.
Got a 44-game hitting streak, something like that, against the Rangers.
Yep, first 44 games he ever played against the franchise. Had a hit in every one of them. So they've stolen him away. So you can never do that again. That ball getting by Johnson. Hamilton down to second.
That'll go as a wild pitch, but a really good read there by Hamilton. The ball really never gets away from Johnson, but once Johnson can't locate it, Hamilton with his great speed easily into second base.
17 wild pitches last year for Felix Hernandez. Again, the byproduct of throwing sinkers that are just darting all over the place.
Exactly right. Hard sliders, hard split fingers. Vladimir Guerrero just has made an awfully good living in these situations, hitting with runners in scoring position. Holy Moses.
He did it again. I know. It's anybody else either takes that pitch, or if there is a swing, this is not happening. He's just laughing.
That's hard to do, folks. That's called survival. Well, you foul that off, you might make a mistake here.
Big swing, didn't get it. Felix Hernandez got him to end the inning. Mariners 1, Rangers nothing at the end of 1 on 5. By Scott's official lawn care company of Major League Baseball, and by Sprint, the Now Network. Not now, but soon, there will be a shifting of the ownership landscape here in Arlington. And I don't know if George Steinbrenner, for example, ever just went out and sat among the masses, but there's Chuck Greenberg, the guy in the blue shirt, is in the process of acquiring the majority stake in the Texas Rangers, and he's very interested in just kind of, getting to know the lay of the land.
And what it's all about out there. I don't think the boss ever did that. Do you think?
Well, he'd have a turtleneck on first if he ever did. But Chuck Greenberg, a huge baseball fan, obviously growing up in Pittsburgh, was a Pirates guy, but very quickly has shifted allegiances. And my guess, Mr. Grace, is it won't be too many more games where he can just sit there all by himself and be totally anonymous.
He will become very popular very quickly. Good man. And the Rangers are going to be lucky to have him.
Mike Sweeney, who may lead the league in nice, is coming up right now. We've talked.
Well said.
Well, and Ken Griffey Jr. probably right next to him on that list. They locker next to each other. They hit next to each other in the batting order when they both play.
And this is a guy, when you meet him, you just can't help but root for him after you meet him. Just one of the really nice men in this game. And at one time, one of the best hitters in this game.
Yeah, that's sometimes forgotten. He had some back injuries that have really derailed what was a very promising career. Kind of like Don Mattingly,
right,
you know, when you think about it. That one in. Ooh. Hit the nice guy.
A little cut fastball, got him right on the elbow. And I guess if you're going to get hit, get grazed. That'll be a leadoff base runner for the Mariners. Pretty good reaction there.
You have that glancing blow, and he grabs where it hit.
He'll be just fine. And on to Casey Kotchman.
Another one in the dirt, this time blocked by Teagarden. Both pitchers had a wild pitch in that first inning. And Casey Kotchman had a home run last night. He went upper tank, as a matter of fact.
Off to a good start. Already 6 RBIs for a guy that's really no more around the major leagues as just a stellar defense at first base.
Harrison changing up. Yeah, Kotchman is just a master over there at first base. Russell Branyan had a career year for Seattle last year, but he rejected a one-year contract offer, went off in search of greener pastures. Left field this time for Kotchman. Hamilton's got it as we check the 4 keys to the game this afternoon. Seattle at Texas.
No, for Don Wakamatsu and his Mariners, stop pressing and start hitting. Talking with Ken Griffey Jr. before the game today. Got to spend some time with him. He said, Mark, we're already pressing. We can't do it. And you can't steal first base. Don Wakamatsu would love to get some speed on base early. Ichiro, Figgins, get those guys on base. And that's the same thing with the Rangers. The Rangers want to do the same thing. Both teams really need to find a way to get on first base. Ron Washington wants to run, but he can't get his guys on base. Bourbon yet still hitless. And it's the same way with Don Wakamatsu. Both teams need to get those first 2 guys on so they can start scoring some runs. Get on for those big hungry guys in the middle of the lineup.
But for the Rangers, there are 2 speed guys. Andrews and Bourbon are right now a combined 2 for 31. The Rangers, who are built to run around. Ron Washington loves a team with the ability to do that. They've not even attempted a steal all year. As you pointed out, as the graphic said, you can't steal first base.
You got to get on first. Vladimir Guerrero, Nelson Cruz have been terrific. But the rest of the fellas got to join the party.
Rob Johnson hammers one down the line. Off the bottom of the wall and bouncing right back to Josh Hamilton. He'll usher it in very quickly. Make it 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Johnson had a home run on opening day for Seattle. Now his first double of the year.
Cut fastball. It just doesn't get to the inside corner. Johnson does a nice job of pulling his hands in, keeping the ball fair. Josh Hamilton plays the carom perfectly and gets it back in. But once again, Seattle Mariners here cooking up a brew in the top of the 2nd.
Infield in for the Rangers, 2nd and 3rd for Jack Wilson. Had a double in the game yesterday. Harrison begins with ball 1, and I would think, Gracie, if you're Wilson, you're in a great spot because Harrison knows who's on deck. That's Ichiro. You don't want to face Ichiro with the bases loaded. Therefore, strikes must be coming.
I was going to say, Jack Wilson's got a pretty good spot in this lineup. He'll never see an intentional walk. Bases loaded or not, I don't think any pitcher ever wants to face Ichiro Suzuki.
Now, with the infield in here in the 2nd inning, Gracie, I mean, I'm thinking that's some respect for Felix Hernandez, right?
I think you're 1,000% right, Josh. I think Don Wakamatsu would love to get a couple more for King Felix because Felix just doesn't give up big innings. He doesn't give up home runs. Here's a nice change up there. Right over the top of it goes Jack Wilson. But Ron Washington realizes, I've got to cut this run off. I've got to keep it a one-run game.
Line shot foul. Well, Felix Hernandez in this ballpark last year, and this is supposed to be a tough ballpark in which to pitch. 3 starts. He gave up 2 runs total in 3 games. That's 21 innings. So yeah, you're probably not going to score 5 or anything like that. You might as well minimize the damage right now. Bounced it up there. Teagarden blocks it.
Well, that's nicely done there by Taylor Teagarden, saving another run. This is a tough one here. This one bounces way almost in front of the plate. Yes, it does, in front of the plate. And just smothered there by Teagarden.
Off speed, popped up. Nelson Cruz. No thought about coming home by Mike Sweeney. Cruz shallow anyway, and he gunned down 11 from out there last year. That's just not happening.
Mike Brumley, the third base coach for the Mariners. There's already been 1 thrown out at the plate today. We weren't going to make it 2, and a perfect throw there by Cruz, hitting the cutoff man. All you young outfielders, you hear it all the time, but you can't stress enough how important it is to hit the cutoff man.
Ron Washington is so big on fundamentals just like that, as you know. You do that once, you are going to get aired out. Pitching carefully to Ichiro would not be a surprise, right? Second and third.
Well, you would normally say that, but you got Sean Figgins on deck, who is such a tough out. But you can see it looks like right now, at least early in this count, they're trying to get Ichiro to chase something off the plate, and he hadn't done it, and it's 2-0. It's pretty good company he's in.
Caught enough of the corner that time.
A little generosity there, but Harrison will take it.
It's where it crosses, not where it's caught, right?
That's exactly right. He's doing a good job of staying down around the knees with Ichiro to even up the count. Going away with the pitch prior to that. This one down and in. Ranger fans wanting a strikeout. They need a strikeout here from Harrison as Ichiro calls timeout.
Ichiro, a wild swing and made just enough contact.
Ichiro a lot like Vladimir Guerrero, where he could just find a way to just nick a ball foul. 9 out of 10 hitters are not going to come close to making contact with that pitch. He found a way to stay alive. Found a way to maybe extend the lead here in the early going.
Harrison scampers, grabs it, fires, got it. The Mariners strand 2. They lead by 1. Budweiser with full flavor and a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Beautiful ballpark in Arlington. The Mariners and the Rangers on Fox today. Nelly Cruz at the plate takes a strike from Felix Hernandez.
It's just almost unfair what Hernandez does. Just pounds the kneecaps with sinker after sinker.
He was able to strike out Vlad Guerrero to get out of the first inning. Now goes after a guy who's been almost as hot this first week of the year. That's Nelson Cruz. That Dominican duo has been carrying the Rangers offensively. Vlad Guerrero came in today 9 for 15. Nelly Cruz 7 out of 14. That one's rolled to third. Problem has been the rest of the Ranger lineup. If you combine Nelson Cruz and Vlad Guerrero coming into today, they were hitting .552. Those not named Nelson Cruz or Vlad Guerrero were hitting .118.
Yeah. And there are some good hitters on this team. I mean, there are really good hitters. Michael Young is going to hit. Josh Hamilton's going to hit.
When Ian Kinsler's back in the lineup, same deal.
Good point.
The Rangers last year, they had the second most home runs in the majors, but Gracie, they were only 14th in runs scored. They led the league in strikeouts. They set a team record. They had more than 1,250 of them.
Goodness. That's a boatload of strikeouts.
Well, back in 1980, as mediocre as things were around then for the Rangers, they had 589. Last year was more than double that. Richie Zisk led the team that year with 72 strikeouts. Last year, the Rangers had 12 players with as many as 72 strikeouts.
Not truly amazing. That's just the way baseball has gone now. The strikeout, it used to be embarrassing to strike out. Now, it's, well, if you're going to hit 25 balls in the seats, you're allowed to strike out 180 times.
Hey, coming up after the game, by the way, NASCAR on Fox in Phoenix. Mark Martin trying to defend his title, take home the checkered flag again. Coverage of the Subway Fresh Fit 600 from Phoenix coming up next in the high def right here on Fox. If you had a 3 strikeout game, did that wear on you? I mean, you took that personally.
Oh yeah.
Even a decade ago.
That was one of my parts of my game, I guess, was the fact that I wasn't much of a strikeout guy.
No, I was going to say you didn't really have 3 strikeout games.
But yeah, I had a couple of them, and they were both by the same guy, Sid Fernandez.
Real El Cid did that.
El Cid, yeah. I'd rather not talk about it. But
Sid was a good hitter's background.
Yeah, Shea Stadium was easy to hit. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but Sid though, gave you that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he was a very large man out there throwing high fastballs, and you just couldn't catch up with him.
To be politically correct, he was a person of thyroid. That ball into the crowd, and so too is Kochman, but he couldn't hang on. It's like I don't have a big nose. My face is just set too far back. That's all. Kochman, real nice attempt to get that one.
Can't believe those Ranger fans didn't help him out.
Well, that's fair game, right? You can go in there and
doggone right.
Do a little tomahawk chop if you want to. That's your seat. You can defend it.
And you should defend it against those enemy first basemen.
How many times?
But always be nice to first base.
You ever get karate chopped leaning in somewhere?
Yeah, Philadelphia was kind of famous for their karate chops / throwing things.
Blocking areas, pegs one in the center base hit.
I got a crutch thrown at me in Philadelphia one time.
The guy just had to limp home.
That's what I said. I told security, whoever's limping over there, that's probably the guy that did it.
Taylor Teagarden looking for his first hit of 2010. He is 0 for 10. With Jared Saltalamacchia on the DL now for a couple weeks, Teagarden will be getting a lot of playing time.
Let's see if Ron Washington wants to try to maybe take a chance here and have Arias on the move.
In spring training, when it was not known whether Arias would make the team or not, Ron Washington made a point to tell Arias, hey, look, if you make this team, you're going to be expected to run. So I want to start seeing you being aggressive on the bases out there.
Yeah, no sense getting left at the gate. That's your game. And if I bring you north with the ball club, I need you to play your game. And that is speed. Oh, nice breaking ball. And that one just buckled the knees of Teagarden. Skid can pitch.
He's in search of his 15th consecutive quality start. That would set a team record. Last 14 starts for Felix Hernandez. 8-1 with 5 no decisions. His ERA is 2. Hernandez finishing second in the Cy Young balloting last year. Zach Greinke, of course, won that award, but a lot of people looked at the composite of the year that Felix Hernandez had and said, boy, it sure could have been the king.
Yeah, Zach Greinke deserved it, certainly, but King Felix was fabulous. He'll win one before too long.
High soaring drive by Taylor Teagarden towards left. Milton Bradley.
Breezy day.
Yeah, he's got it, though. And that's the inning. Still 1-0. We'll come back to Arlington after a word from your local Fox station. Baseball presented by Lowe's, along with Mark Grace, Josh Lewin. The 15th season of MLB on Fox, and we open with Seattle at Texas today. Mariners grabbed a run in the top of the first, looking for more. Sean Figgins takes the strike.
Harrison just continues to work quickly. You see Figgins going to step out, try to get himself ready, maybe slow Harrison down.
First start for Harrison since last June. He had that thoracic outlet syndrome.
Gesundheit.
Well, I know it's a mouthful, but it's basically a rib cage deal. And a bunch of Rangers have had that over the last few years. Kenny Rogers, most notably. But Harrison has worked back from that, and as you mentioned, Mark, he's lost a lot of weight. He's in great shape. Fewer sweeps, more cardio. And there's 30 pounds less of Harrison. Andrews, he's dazzling over there. He got it.
What a great play by the youngster. That's routine for him, Josh.
He was the youngest position player in the majors last year at 20. And now at 21. Just fantastic work out there at short.
A bullet in between hot, the backhand, and then the strong arm across the diamond to get the streaking Figgins. Great play.
As you said, it's that casual kind of oh by the way nature that just blows your mind. Like that play's no big deal.
And it does seem that is routine for Andrews.
Oh, and as we're talking defense, here's Franklin Gutierrez. Base hit, almost decapitated Harrison.
Goodness gracious.
Known as a glove man, but yeah, he can hit a little bit too. He's actually got an 11-game hitting streak going back to last year. He's 2 for 2 today.
This is what happened when you miss out over the plate.
Wow.
Boy. That'll get your attention.
That's one of those that, remember in the old Charlie Brown?
Yes.
Glove goes flying. That zigzag shirt goes flying off his body.
The yard sale.
Right.
Just about every hitter went right back up the middle on Charlie Brown, didn't he?
And nobody ever took poor Charlie the other way.
Didn't anybody ever pull a ball?
Poor old Charlie Brown. Well, Matt Harrison now has to deal with Jose Lopez. And there have been 5 Mariner hits. Only 1 for extra bases, though. And that, too, I guess, Gracie's been par for the course. They're playing their 6th game of the year. They got only 10 extra base hits.
There's not a lot of thump in this lineup. They have to beat you with pitching
and defense.
And they do that very well.
That ball chipped into right center. Borbone calling off Cruz. Well, I guess the Seattle version of Save the Cheerleader, Save the World was improve the defense, save your franchise. The Mariners committed to what's called run prevention. They brought in the wizards of defense like Gutierrez and Wilson and Kochman now, and that is how they're going forward.
Figgins.
Right.
They do a terrific job of catching the baseball. One thing about the Mariners, you have to go out and beat them. They rarely will beat themselves. They've got good pitching. They've got good defense. It's just a matter of will they score enough runs. And they went out and got Milton Bradley to help their offense.
And
so far, it's been a struggle.
Yeah, and he needs to stay healthy, too. That's always been a big thing for Bradley. I would say of these 3 components, health, productivity at the plate, and good outfield play, usually Milton's good for 1, maybe 2 out of 3. He's never in his career gone 3 for 3. On the ground to short. And a tough start for his Mariner career. He's 1 for 19. Harrison's out of the inning. 1-0. Mariners over the Rangers. Off for the Rangers, bottom 3 against Felix Hernandez, who's just doing his usual Felix Hernandez thing so far, pouring in a lot of strikes.
Our pitching is so much easier after you throw strike 1. Now you can open up all your arsenal. You can go to your off-speed stuff if you want, or just continue to pound with fastballs. There's the breaking ball.
And the breaking ball down and outside. The 15th season of Major League Baseball on Fox opening up today with the Rangers and the Mariners. Josh Lewin and Mark Grace, honored to be with you today. It's a breezy afternoon here in Arlington. Very pleasant, 70 degrees.
Well, after throwing strike 1, Felix has missed with 3 straight.
And if Andrews does get on, the Rangers will look to run. You better believe it.
Oh, you just have to try it off Hernandez. There's strike 2. Andrews tried to duck under that one. Nothing doing, says Ed Rapuano, the home plate umpire. See him try to duck underneath it. I've seen a lot of guys try that.
Payoff pitch to right field, and Ichiro is after it. Makes the play. That's the first time that Elvis Andrews was swinging. He had taken 5 in a row.
Not a bad idea right now. Try to make King Felix work a little bit.
Nothing working for Julio Bourbon quite yet, and it's got to be tough. Here's a young guy, knowing there's a lot expected of him. It's only the first week of the season. I get that, Mark, but how do you tell yourself, all right, I'm going to go up there taking when you're 0 for 17?
Yeah, you go up there, and your mindset is, okay, I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to get a hit. You end up trying to get 7 hits in 1 at bat, and you just can't do it. Just relax, have fun, and enjoy it. It's easy to say. I'm not 0 for 17.
You got 3 zeros up there on the scoreboard looking at you. That will remind you.
Good change up there from King Felix.
In the game on Tuesday, Bourbon up 4 times, saw only 7 pitches total, and he actually went to his hitting coach, Clint Hurdle, after the game and said, I know. That's not what I'm supposed to do.
Clint Hurdle, longtime skipper for the Colorado Rockies. Playing a spot in Ron Washington's dugout.
Big shoes to fill here. Rudy Jaramillo, the longtime hitting coach, now a Cub hitting coach. Bourbon flying down the line. Could this be it? Yes, he's off the schneid. And all it took was a 2 or 3 hopper to an infielder. It's all speed right there for Bourbon.
Well, Jack Wilson is a veteran shortstop, and he should know better than to back up on a ball with someone flying down the line like Bourbon. You don't think he smells this base hit? I mean, flying down the line. It wasn't even close. Jack Wilson, one of the more sure-handed shortstops in the game, but he made a mistake there by backing up on that ball.
Michael Young at the plate. Bunch of things in play when you've got Bourbon at first and Young batting. Michael Young is outstanding at hitting the ball to the right side.
Yes.
And you've got to hold on Bourbon. Michael Young is also just an unbelievable fastball hitter. You've got to throw a fastball if you're thinking about catching Bourbon in an attempted steal. So for the Rangers, I mean, this is just perfect. You get Bourbon at first, Michael Young at the plate, and everybody wins. Remember, the Rangers haven't even attempted a stolen base yet this year. It's got to be killing Ron Washington. Here they are in their, what is this? I guess their 40th inning of baseball this year. No attempts yet.
That's where you don't even put the sign on. Just yell from the dugout, go!
Pitching out. Something Don Wakamatsu doesn't order up all that often at all. And he's a former catcher. Has been ordered to do that a lot in his day. But he doesn't like giving that order a lot.
I think if Wakamatsu was listening to us, he'd have heard us say that they haven't even tried to attempt a stolen base yet this year. Now would be a good time to try it. Nothing doing, and a foul ball.
Young actually has great career numbers against King Felix, a career .346 batter against him. Bourbon not going, and Young fouls it away.
Young got the fastball he wanted there. That was the one middle in, about belt high, but he was tardy on it. You can see he wanted that one. Here, you have it. No, no, no. What a great shot.
Still no movement from first, and that's a rare pulling the ball from Michael Young. Hard takeout slide from Bourbon, but the Mariners turn two. And they continue to lead 1-0. Sponsored by the 2010 Taurus from Ford. Drive one. By Lavazza and by Valvoline. Guarantee your engine up to 300,000 miles. Mariners by one, and Mike Sweeney takes a strike on the inside edge. Now the Rangers look like they might have a little something working there in the bottom of the third. They got Julio Bourbon with that great speed to reach. But Michael Young, who's known for hitting the ball to the right side, was induced instead to pull the ball to the left side and into a double play. We'll talk with Ranger manager Ron Washington in just a moment or two.
Sweeney stepping out on the fast working Harrison. He was hit by an 0-2 pitch his first time up. Let's see what Harrison comes back with here. Came inside, but it was down. Good pitch.
Very close.
Didn't get the call.
A little bit snug, maybe.
I think Mike Sweeney thanking his lucky stars right now that Eddie Rapuano called that ball too.
That ball slammed into the crowd. Matt Harrison allowed just that first inning run. The Rangers starters so far this year, Mark. I mean, here they are once through the rotation. And if you add in what Harrison's done today, the team ERA is 1.8 from the rotation. Got him. And back to the Rangers and what they were looking to do as we check that strikeout pitch from Harrison. We go back to the Rangers in the bottom of the third. And we asked Ron Washington, did he consider running there with Julio Bourbon?
Well, I'll tell you, we thought about it, but Felix wasn't giving us a chance to do anything. He was pretty quick to the plate, so we're not going to force it. And we got our best hitter up there at the plate, so we're just going to take our chances.
It's been a while since you've seen Matt Harrison, your left-hander, on the pitcher's mound. How do you feel his work's been today?
Well, I tell you, after the first inning, I think he come back and he started hitting his spots a lot better. And, you know, if he can just keep throwing the ball over the plate and keep it in play for us, we'll finally get back in this ball game.
And watch real quick, Bourbon finally reaches base. That's got to be a load off his mind, huh?
Yes, it is, and that's the type of base hits he gets. So, you know, you can't say you snuck one. Sometimes you're going to do that, but I wasn't concerned about Julio, you know, because once he starts getting his hits, they're going to come in bunches.
Thank you, Skipper. Good luck.
Thank you so much, fellas.
Bye, man. Strike two to Casey Kochman. Ron Washington, of course, had his world laid bare this past St. Patrick's Day. A reporter came forward with some very disturbing news that his employers knew about already, and the Rangers and Nolan Ryan were compassionate. Washington himself was contrite, and everyone agrees now, Gracie, it's a closed case.
It is a closed case, and before I say anything, that's one of my favorite people in this game, Ron Washington. He's a good man. He's a very good manager. And yes, he knows he made a mistake. He made a big mistake.
There's a walk to Kochman.
He'll be better for it, and the Rangers will be better because he is their manager.
Well, the team certainly rallied around him. All the players did. The Rangers are out to a 2-2 start. We mentioned the Mariners are 1-4. Oakland right now in this first week of the season is a top dog at 4-1.
Surprising some people.
The Mariners and the Angels both starting out 1-4. Johnson takes a strike. How about the Twins, by the way, out of the Central? They haven't christened that new ballpark yet. They're opening on the road, and they open up 5-1 with a win today.
Even without their great closer, Joe Nathan, they're winning ball games. Big John Roush, now the closer. I think he saved today's ball game as well.
6'11", and he's got a big assignment this year to step in there for Joe Nathan. Rob Johnson sends one way up in the air for Bourbon, who started back and now he's coming in. That wind just thumbtacking the ball up there.
It looked like a lot of balls being held up by the wind here today.
Folks, for exclusive info, analysis, and breaking news, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Log on to twitter.com/MLB on Fox. Facebook has got you. MySpace has got you. Rangers and the Mariners from Arlington today. And Jack Wilson 0 for 1. Going the other way, base hit. 2 on, 2 out for Ichiro. It'll be the second time that Ichiro bats with 2 on. Mark, you were talking about the Twins earlier today. Jason Kubel provided the offense. Got a 2-run shot. Your DirecTV game break. The only way to watch every MLB game in HD. Call 1-800-DIRECTV. And yeah, John Roush closes it out. Gets Alex Rios to fly to Denard Span.
Well, what a job the Minnesota Twins organization has done over the years. They just continue to lose quality free agents and just continue to win.
And from all accounts, that ballpark, and we'll showcase it on Fox in May. That's supposed to be just outstanding.
I have a feeling you and I are going to be there together.
I got that memo.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'd say dress warm, but, you know, late May, we had a shot to...
It might be really nice.
Outside to Ichiro.
I think you just never know anymore with our weather. They can blizzards and floods in the Northeast. Now it was 95 last week there.
There was a foot of snow in February here in Arlington.
That's right.
Ichiro, wild swing and a miss. Matt Harrison is out of the inning. Seattle is stranded 6, including 4 in scoring position, but they still have the lead. Felix Hernandez to Josh Hamilton. A lot of star power 60 feet away from each other right here. Felix Hernandez working on a 2-hit shutout. Mariners nursing a 1-0 lead on Fox this afternoon.
Once again, Felix just jumping ahead of just about every hitter here this afternoon. Oh, look at that changeup. What a thing of beauty that was.
David Ardsma, their closer, has said you can't copy anything Felix does because you have nothing like what he has.
That's a great point.
He does things that other major league pitchers just aren't capable of doing.
See, and Josh Hamilton's just getting a heaping helping of him here. He starts him with a fastball to jump ahead. Back-to-back splits, one swing and miss, and another one in the dirt. Just missed with the fastball. Felix wanted it.
Right around the shins of Josh Hamilton.
And it's a ball, but not by much.
Seattle went 25-9 last year when Felix Hernandez started. They were 60-68 when he did not start.
We're talking about a one-man gang.
And the hope is he's got a Robin to his Batman this year, that Cliff Lee, when he's healthy.
He will.
But again, that's been pushed to May. Josh Hamilton has had full counts a couple times today. That's probably a good sign. Again, Josh, sometimes when he's pressing, get up there and put that first one in play.
Exactly. That's the worst thing you can do. The more pitches you can see, the better off you're going to be.
Slicing it to left. That ball carries towards Milton Bradley. He's over and he misplayed it. And now he can't find it. Josh Hamilton storming towards third. did not exactly help Milton Bradley on that one. He's used to this field. He played here for an entire season. But that swirling ballpark wind ate him up.
Well, there's the sliced. And then all of a sudden Milton ran to a spot, but it was the wrong spot. And then he couldn't get, once he can't get by, now it caroms away, and Josh Hamilton just off to the races. And Josh Hamilton can fly.
Gold-plated RBI chance now for Vlad Guerrero. Runner at third, the infield back. A swing that you could feel all the way up here.
I think Vlad Guerrero has just decided, I'm going to swing it every single pitch today. I don't care where it is.
Swinging again. He had 2 hits yesterday, went 2 for 4. And his batting average dropped 36 points.
You can see right now, back-to-back fastballs in on Vladimir Guerrero to jump ahead 0-2. Let's see if he can. Vlad's been known to chase balls out of the zone. Let's see if they try to bounce something here. Well, they're going to stay in on his hands.
He swings. It gets away. And the throw to first base is in time. Hamilton had to stay put. Ron Washington is out to argue the point. Whether or not Kochman kept the foot on the bag, maybe.
Gary Pettis, first base coach, adamant that Kochman pulled his foot off the bag.
Guerrero has seen 8 pitches. He has now swung at 7 of them in this game. Let's see.
This is tough to tell there. Todd Tickner, the first base umpire, had a pretty good look at it. Let's see. This should show it. Oh, my goodness. He was easily off the bag. Seattle gets a huge break right there. You can see Kochman's foot nowhere near the bag when he catches that football? Baseball. That's the sport we're playing.
We got a guy built like a linebacker batting now. It's Nelson Cruz.
His foot and baseball at the same time. Nice going, Grace.
Well, at least he didn't say hockey. Infield stays back. Give Felix Hernandez some credit. As you called it, since Vlad's going to swing at anything, just bounce one up there.
Bounce one up there, and he got the much-needed strikeout of the hottest hitter in baseball. But now he may be facing the second hottest hitter in baseball here in Nelson Cruz.
Pounded to third base. Hamilton still coming home. Bangs in it to Johnson, and Johnson hangs on. It stays 1-0. Looked like Hamilton just kind of realized, hey, I'm already gone here. I got to keep on coming.
Yeah, once you commit there, now that was a bullet off the bat of Nelson, but a nice play by Lopez, a perfect throw. Josh did all he could to try to jar it away, but nothing doing. And you're told by your third base coach that you're going on contact, and that means once contact is made, whether it's back to the pitcher or not, you're going. And that's what they had right there, the contact play. Felix Hernandez 1 out away from getting out of a monster jam.
Some real fancy stepping. You got a runner at third and nobody out. You're trying to protect a 1-0 lead. You got to deal with Guerrero and Cruz, the 2 leading hitters in the American League. Cruz in motion that time. The Rangers finally attempt to send a man.
He had a good jump there. The pitch was fouled off. He would have had that easily stolen. Big man Nelson Cruz, but he's got great speed.
20 stolen base season a year ago, and he missed a month. You got a guy coaching on your Arizona Diamondbacks team, Kirk Gibson, who used to steal 25 bases a year, and he was not a small man.
Grunting and snorting the whole way.
Like a Brahmin bull.
Oh yeah, he used to scare second basemen and shortstops. That's why he was one of those guys that, like a Hal McRae, you didn't want to be turning double plays when Kirk Gibson was coming your way.
I don't know if you remember the old Mr. Ed episode where Mr. Ed was asked to play baseball and he's charging towards home plate and Johnny Roseboro just climbs the backstop to get out of the way. I would think somebody with Gibson coming down like that. Cruz in motion. Another ball that gets away. Another chance at first base, and definitely the foot on the bag this time from Kochman. Wow. Runner at third and nobody out, and still a shutout for King Felix. Matt Harrison trails 1-0, getting out-dueled by Felix Hernandez. These two hooked up against each other last May. It was a 3-2 final. Harrison over Hernandez. The Rangers had a big-time threat in the bottom of that fourth inning, just couldn't score. Harrison changing up on Figgins.
Been a pretty good weapon for Harrison the last couple innings. He really found that changeup. He's getting a lot of swings and misses now with it.
The Mariner run came in the first inning on a wild pitch. Figgins scored that run. In for strike two.
You can see there Figgins was looking for that changeup. They got a fastball zip by him.
Yesterday was a 6-2 Ranger win. And Colby Lewis back from Japan. Colby Lewis 2.0. Returns with 7 innings of 1-run baseball. Inside to Figgins. Again, that put the Mariners down to 1-4 to start the year.
A team that's picked by a lot of people to possibly win the West.
Figgins is out again. The story for Seattle today is their pitching. And we talked to Don Wakamatsu just a little while ago about Felix Hernandez.
Well, he looked strong. You know, he had a little concern early where he twisted his ankle. He's got a history of that, so we're going to watch that. But I think he's attacking the zone. His ball's moving quite a bit.
In terms of the Mariner offense right now, obviously it's just not even 1 week into the season. You're not concerned, are you?
Well, I think it's a combination of guys pressing a little bit. Obviously, you start losing a couple ball games early and guys trying to do too much. I like the approach today. We're looking at almost 80 pitches in 4 innings off Matt Harrison.
Are you going to try to play some little ball today and maybe just get one at a time here? That's usually enough for Felix, isn't it?
Well, you know, I think anytime you can spot them run, they got to score 2. You're ahead of the game. So we had an opportunity early in the 2nd inning, maybe capitalize with 1 out, and we didn't do it. But I like the approach. I like these guys taking some pitches and getting some guys in scoring position.
Hoping for a quick game for you so you can go enjoy your son's doubleheader afterwards. Have fun, Walk. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Good luck in all those games.
All right.
Don's son, Luke, just turned 13, and his Keller Dirtbags have a doubleheader. And Don Wakamatsu, time permitting, will be at both those games tonight. So he'll spend his Saturday in Texas.
I get called that a lot, but that's never been one of my team's names.
Wakamatsu was here briefly with the Rangers. His time with Ron Washington was kind of an arranged marriage. After Wak was a finalist for the Rangers manager's gig that went to Washington. There's Andrews. And Davis doing the splits. Don Wakamatsu watched Ron Washington get the gig instead. Wash brought in his own bench coach instead. That kind of pinballed Wakamatsu along. The game summary brought to you by Verizon. Hernandez versus Harrison. And for more information on today's game, log on to foxsports.com, powered by MSN.
Certainly a pitcher's duel so far. Harrison trying to go pitch for pitch.
Harrison deflects it to Elvis Andrews, who says thank you very much.
Why not?
Throws out Lopez. 4 straight set down by the Ranger lefty. We're halfway through it. Mariners by 1. Experience Lowe's. Let's build something together. Next week, Fox Saturday Baseball, the Mets and the Cardinals will have at it. You might see the Sox and the Indians. You might see the Giants and the Dodgers. Baseball presented by Lowe's, returning next week at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Joaquin Arias suddenly hot for the Texas Rangers. He had 2 hits yesterday. He's got 2 hits this afternoon.
He's picked out a couple of breaking balls. They both stayed up in the zone. Young man doing what you're supposed to do with a hanging breaking ball, and that's drill it right back where it came from. 2 base hits for him, and he's saying, what's the big deal about this Keith Felix guy?
Every member of this Rangers team from the Dominican Republic is suddenly hitting a ton. You've got Guerrero and Cruz and Arias. We'll see if the native Texan Taylor Teagarden can jump in and join now. He's 0 for 11 to start his year. And boy, he is bent back, and Ed Rapuano topples over too. Was he hit? Was Taylor Teagarden hit?
I thought Teagarden got hit. And I think right now, because Eddie Rapuano ended up on his wallet, I don't think he knows for sure just what happened. So he's going to call all the boys together.
I think you're right.
And try to find out, hey, I got hit and I couldn't really tell what happened.
Teagarden keeps looking down at his elbow as if to say, if anybody wants to ask me, I'll show you. Todd Tichenor at first base, who's the youngest umpire in this group. All right, let's see.
They got his shoulder. They got his shoulder.
Then got Rapuano.
And it makes you wonder, and it looks to me like they're calling it. Well, he's calling Don Wakamatsu over to explain what he's got. See, this would be an interesting time to maybe think about using replay. They're not using it.
Wasn't like Teagarden was bunting through the ball. This can't be a strike.
Yeah, he's trying to get out of the way of it. And it catches his right shoulder, as you can see, and then it just smokes Ed Rapuano right in the mask. They ended up without replay getting the call right. It's a hit batsman and an opportunity again here for the Rangers.
Rangers don't have a hit yet with runners on base. They're 0 for 6, and this shakes down as a quite obvious bunting situation, right, for Elvis Andrus.
I don't think there's any question about it.
Andrus was asked to do the little things a lot last year, and again at 20 years old he did that stuff very well.
And the thing with Felix Hernandez, he just doesn't give up many big innings. So if you're Ron Washington, you've got to try to at least tie the game up here. Drop a sacrifice bunt and you can, and try to score 1.
Andrus had a dozen successful sac bunts last year, and what a privilege for him, what a help that he had Omar Vizquel on his team last year to kind of show him the ropes, especially in a bunting kind of situation. There is the bunt, and it's abuse. Gets the runners along, and out of first base is Elvis Andrus. Gary Pettis goes ballistic. It's the second time that the first base coach has been literally hopping mad over there.
That looks like Ron might get kicked out of the game here if he's not careful. Gary Pettis once again livid with Tichenor. I don't think Ron Washington too happy as well. Oh, it's just a gorgeous bunt here by Andrus.
Last inning, it was Vlad Guerrero who appeared to be safe at first. And the call went against the Rangers.
Beautiful bunt.
Boy, that's close. Infield comes in for Seattle now, and Julio Bourbon just 1 for 18. The Ranger batter.
Watch the glove. He's safe.
He is safe.
That is a couple of times now that a couple of calls at first base that have gone against the Rangers. Well, you hate that when you're down a run.
And with the infield in, Figgins coming home. Wide drive! Arias going up to touch the plate. He does. Gets out of the way, and 2 runs are in. Bourbon is out at second. Every run in this game, Gracie, has scored on an errant throw to the plate. In a game, a twister breaks out. Arias finally touches right there. And then Teagarden's in.
Just great base running by Teagarden and aggressive base running by the Rangers. You forced Sean Figgins and the Mariners to make a play. They couldn't. That'll make Ron Washington and Gary Pettis a little happier about those calls at first base. 2-1 Texas.
Fielder's choice E4, no RBI, put out goes 2-4. Now something normal happens, just a simple little grounder, but
nothing normal in this game today, Pat.
Felix Hernandez has not allowed an RBI in this game, and he's now down 2-1. Coverage. Harrison to Bradley, strike one. Felix Hernandez now trailing 2-1 on that errant throw from Figgins homeward. They're going to change the scoring now on that, Gracie. Fielder's choice E4 and 1 RBI. So that renders one of those runs earned.
Okay, gotcha. So important now for Harrison and the Texas Rangers to have what you call a shutdown inning. When you get a couple of runs off a great pitcher like Felix Hernandez, it is so important to keep that momentum on your side of the ball field, and that is to go out and have a quick inning.
It was an inning of close calls. Taylor Teagarden maybe not hit by a pitch. Elvis Andrus maybe not safe on the sac bunt that followed. As it turns out, the Rangers scored twice and they grabbed the lead.
Maybe the best fastball all day there from Harrison, 93 miles an hour.
Dustin Nippert is getting ready in the Ranger pen. That was the 100th pitch for Harrison. Towering pop-up. Milton Bradley is running it out. In fact, it looks like he's kind of running out some frustration right there. He just took off. Your Toyota in-game box score. Bradley is now 0 for 3. Ichiro is 0 for 3 in this game. Franklin Gutierrez stays hot. He's got a couple of hits. For more information on today's game, log on to foxsports.com, powered by MSN. Again, that in-game box score brought to you by Toyota. Sweeney, and boy, and there's that change again from Harrison.
Been a good weapon for Harrison today. I'm awfully impressed with this left-hander. It's been a long time since he's seen a major league field. He's going toe-to-toe with Felix Hernandez and then some right now. He's on the good end of a 2-1 ball game.
Harrison outdueled King Felix last May here. Looking to do it again. That one just riding in on Sweeney. Fastball that time. Mike Maddox is the pitching coach, brought in from the Milwaukee Brewers last year, and on his watch the team ERA dropped a full run per game.
One of the best in the business, Mike Maddox.
Sweeney chasing, he's gone.
Mike Maddox going to be real proud of this pitch right here. That's just a cutter that stays up and Sweeney can't lay off.
You know, what's funny too, Gracie, is, you know, you talk about Mike Maddox, and if you were to point to the pitching coach in the game that probably had the most effect on Matt Harrison's career, it's probably the other guy, the other pitching coach. Rick Adair for Seattle had Harrison when Harrison was a minor leaguer in Atlanta. Had Harrison here when Rick Adair was the minor league pitching coordinator for the Rangers. So Adair has seen so much more of Harrison than Maddox. And the final tweaks, I guess you can say, have been, you know, kind of put on the machine by Mad Dog. But Rick Adair says Harrison was one of my prized pupils. Love that guy.
Well, his pupil is dealing right now. Well, if this is your number 5 guy, you're kind of happy if you're a Ranger fan.
Well, for years it's been all about the pitching and the lack thereof around here. Last year it started getting better, and yeah, once through the rotation now, the team ERA from the starting staff is about 1. Harrison knocks it down, recovers, got his man, and continues to lead Felix Hernandez 2-1. Presented by Lowe's, the Rangers lead the Mariners 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Josh Hamilton, Vlad Guerrero, and Nelson Cruz, the meat of the Ranger order. And Matt Harrison, the young lefty for the Rangers, with 110 pitches. That's probably going to do it for him. 6 innings of work. What's that?
What's going on there?
Rappiano chatting with somebody in that Mariners dugout, the home plate umpire.
He was getting his britches fixed or something by Johnson, the catcher. That one's foul tipped into Johnson's mitt. Got something going on. Rapalano does with the back of his britches.
Fastball powered behind Hamilton. So you're saying we need bridge cam now? Is that figure out what's going on? Hamilton lays off.
Oh, what a tough pitch that is to lay off. Takes talent to even lay off certain pitches, Josh, and that was one of them.
You saw a man on deck who doesn't really lay off pitches that much, Vlad Guerrero. Boy, it's just a shooting gallery back there today. Catcher Johnson, the home plate umpire Rappiano, just getting beaten up.
Well, this guy's had enough pain in his life the last few months. He's had 4 surgeries, Johnson. 4 since the offseason. Both of his hips, his wrist, and LASIK surgery.
It's like an episode of House.
My goodness.
Hamilton makes contact. Yeah, and they're being careful with Rob Johnson because of that. I mean, you don't go into the knife that often and get asked to play every day right away.
Right.
Boy, Adam Moore has been playing a little. Kenji Jojima went back to Japan. Hamilton takes on the outside corner. And down he goes. Let's check our in-game box score, brought to you by Toyota. Check out what the Rangers have done today. The big news is Bourbon finally getting a hit. First time he's been on base all year. For more information on today's game, log on to foxsports.com, powered by MSN. All right, so now this is
Vladimir's just swinging at everything today. I don't care.
He has taken 1 pitch today out of 9.
I wonder if Felix threw it over the backstop if he'd take it. Nothing but fastballs in.
Got to take that one.
Attaboy, Vladdy. I knew you could do it.
Guerrero, the first player in franchise history for the Rangers to have multiple hits in his first 4 games, but has struck out twice today. That too had to be tempting for Vlad, but he didn't do it.
Fastball in front of the plate. You know what a great hitter this guy's been for a lot of years.
Eight-time All-Star, and the Rangers got him on the cheap. So he tries to get to King Felix.
Likes that there. Fouled it off.
Guerrero missed 2 months last year. He had the torn chest muscle and another month where he had the strained left knee. And this offseason, he had both knees cleaned up. Says he's as strong as ever.
I love the no batting gloves.
Rolls it to third base. Out number 2.
Let's take a look at just how that at-bat transpired. Fastball down and in, swing and miss. Fastball in, pulled foul. Now I'm going to try to get Vladdy to chase some pitches. Nah, I'm not going to chase that one. Then let's go right back inside with the foul ball. And that's the bread and butter, as you can see. They just wanted to crowd Vladimir Guerrero the whole time, try to keep his elbows close to his body. It's been a pretty good ticket for Felix Hernandez here this afternoon.
Nelly Cruz, who has homered in 3 of the first 4 games for the Rangers this year. He did that last year, too. Went all the way on to play. Well, I didn't actually get in the All-Star game, but he got to show up.
Yeah, he got
the All-Star game, and he was in that home run derby. Almost won it. See the All-Star game again on Fox this year from Anaheim.
And Nelson Cruz, once you get out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, he's not really a household name when it comes to Major League Baseball, but this kid is some kind of a talented player, both offensively, defensively. He's got all the weapons.
Swinging 3 and out.
Now that's a part where the game has changed, Josh, and that is 2 out, nobody on, 3-0 green light.
Swinging on this one, 3-1. He hit the hook in. Nelson Cruz home run. That's about how he was burying baseballs in that aforementioned home run derby.
Felix Hernandez went to the well the same way as Guerrero, but Nelson Cruz, he was able to get to that fastball in, put a charge into it, kept it fair. Did Mr. Greenberg catch that one out there?
That would have been a story, but yeah, the owner was prospective owner was sitting out there earlier. Nelly Cruz trying to get in good with the new guy.
Well, what a talent. Like to work on that number a little more. Hit a few more home runs with some fellas on base.
Davis lines out, and that's the inning. Felix Hernandez now trailing 3-1. Nelson Cruz has made it so. Back after a word from your local Fox station. Now they lead Seattle 3-1. Nelson Cruz has just hit his 4th home run of the year. He ties the Arlington, Texas native Vernon Wells for the American League lead 1 week along. And Dustin Nippert will face Rob Johnson. Boy, how about the effort from Matt Harrison today? Seattle scratching out that run on a wild pitch in the 1st inning, but that's all they got.
He really held it together. Decided to go toe-to-toe with Felix Hernandez, and right now, he's ahead on points.
Harrison, who hasn't won since he matched up against Felix Hernandez last year, has a chance to beat him again. Rob Johnson towards Nelly Cruz. And the man of the hour for the Rangers, Nelson Cruz, makes that play. Nelson Cruz, or just for men to keep your edge spotlight, just as Nelson Cruz gives the Rangers the edge. You too can keep your edge with Just for Men, mustache and beard. For more information on today's game, log on to foxsports.com, powered by MSN. Bill James, the great baseball stats man and essayist, calls guys like Nelson Cruz hanging fire. The military term for the mortar shell. It doesn't go off when it's supposed to, but it doesn't go out either. You know, the fuse just kind of does a slow burn and eventually ignites. I think Nelson Cruz for a while, Gracie, was hanging fire.
How's that?
He exploded in 09. Everybody kept waiting for it to happen. And then finally, there it was. And it looks like it's continuing here in 2010. Bill James suggested at the start of this year that Melky Cabrera is maybe next on that list. You know, a guy that has all the talent, hasn't quite gotten it yet. You're just waiting and waiting, and they'll detonate eventually. And if Cabrera does that, it'll be on somebody else's landscape. You know, it'll be the Braves now that gets to take advantage, just like the Rangers have gotten all the good stuff out of Nelson Cruz. What the Mets didn't get, what the Brewers didn't get. Lunging at that one as Jack Wilson pops it up. And a foul.
Well, that was a hanging curveball. Dustin Nippert got away with it.
I think late bloomers like Nelson Cruz, as you check this last pitch. Yeah, you're right, high hanger. I think those are great stories. I mean, Ryan Ludwig is another guy. Nate McLouth took a while to get going.
I mean, one of my favorite stories, if you will, is in St. Louis. They had a pitcher. As that one's banged out to Josh Hamilton on a bounce.
And he'll get it back in. Hang on one sec, Gracie. Got to mention something real quick. Chevy and Scott's are building diamonds and dreams. And you can see how the kids can win a ballpark makeover and how you could win a new Chevy at ChevyBaseball.com.
And one of my favorite stories is Rick Ankiel. He was one of the best young left-handed pitchers in the game. All of a sudden, couldn't keep it in the area code, so he decided, well, I'm going to go down. My goodness, became an everyday center fielder, and now he's with the Kansas City Royals, and he helped his Royals beat the Boston Red Sox with a big base hit last night. Hanging fire.
Hanging fire. Steve Finley was a guy like that. 27, 28 years old, right? And then finally just kind of got it all together. Ichiro, who has not gotten the ball out of the infield yet. Ichiro probably will get a hit at some point this weekend. You can't guarantee it, but did you know Valvoline will guarantee your engine up to 300,000 miles? Valvoline, the first and only motor oil in the industry to guarantee your engine up to 300,000 miles. And there is your guaranteed hit from Ichiro, like he was reading the script.
Right on cue, Ichiro. Thank you very much.
Valvoline thanks you, Ichiro.
Yes. And as does Josh Lewin. Just a fastball right down Broadway. And well, we've seen that thousands of times from Ichiro Suzuki. Just don't try to do too much. Just get you a base hit. Now, just like that, tying runs on first base.
Neftali Feliz will get up in the bullpen. He's become the 8th inning guy for Ron Washington. Might be used a shade early. See if Dustin Nippert can induce Figgins to hit it on the ground. Of course, Figgins runs so well. Even if he hits it on the ground, it's not for sure that it's a double play.
Yeah, he'd have to hit it hard on the ground for that.
At 7 Eastern, 6 Central, NASCAR on Fox in Phoenix. Mark Martin trying to defend that title. It's coming up after the game in high def right here on Fox. Strike one to Figgins.
Just like Harrison before him, strike one so important. That puts Sean Figgins in swing mode now.
Figgins 3 for 10 lifetime against Nippert. Right on the corner, strike two.
This time, Nippert, the recipient of a semi-generous outside corner there. Figgins couldn't believe it. Now he's in an 0-2 hole.
Down he goes. Dustin Nippert getting Figgins on 3 pitches.
You don't see that from Sean Figgins very often at all. Dustin Nippert just took him to the woodshed. Perfect fastball on 0-2. Nicely done by the big fella.
Maybe the hottest Mariner hitter, Franklin Gutierrez. 2 more hits today. And he is the go-ahead man here for Seattle. Breaking ball, didn't get it. Season opening week-long road trip for Seattle. They'll have their home opener Monday against Oakland. Towards right field, Nelson Cruz is there. And the Rangers still holding a 3-1 lead. The M's have stranded 8. In a better way forward by Toyota. And by Sharp Aqua's Quatron Quad Pixel technology, you have to see it to see it. 26,000 plus at the ballpark in Arlington today. The Rangers outlasting the Mariners right now 3-1. Joaquin Arias has a couple of hits. And that's off of King Felix. That's something to brag about.
Yeah, not many people can say they've hammered King Felix, but this kid certainly has today. He's only given up 5, 2 of them to Arias.
Arias has needed a couple of breaks to even be on this team. Ian Kinsler is on the DL. That's one break. And the other one, even before spring training started, is Khalil Green, who was supposed to be the utility guy here. Had a reoccurrence of that anxiety disorder. He never did show up. Bidding for his third hit. He's got it. Joaquin Arias. Ian Kinsler, who? Arias, who started his season 0 for 5, is now 5 for his last 5.
I would imagine now Ron Washington, I think he would probably try to step on the gas pedal here. You've got a 3-1 lead. I think now is the time you start taking some chances. It's the bottom part of your lineup. Maybe try a hit and run, or maybe just a flat out straight steal.
Arias was picked off the other day, and I ask you, Gracie, how does that reconcile with what we talked about earlier? Ron Washington, the manager, has asked him to be aggressive. Well, he tried. He got picked off.
Well, and that's okay as long as your manager says, I want you to go out there and be aggressive. Well, if you get picked off, that's an aggressive mistake. And Ron Washington can live with that. What I don't think Ron can live with, Josh, is Arias just dropping anchor over there at first base and letting his hitters tap into double plays off ground ball pitchers like King Felix.
Runner goes, and Teagarden with a foul.
They played hit and run there. Teagarden able to foul it off. So Ron Washington certainly going to the gas pedal.
Wave and a miss by Teagarden. And Brandon League appears now in the Seattle bullpen. Hernandez about to throw his 100th pitch of the day. Rangers don't have a hit yet with a runner on base the entire afternoon. And they still don't. 0 for 8 with men on base. With that huge throwing error with 2 outs in the 5th inning, allowing 2 runs to score. That's really the difference in the game. Hurry in to get your free Scott's MLB Fan Guide, available exclusively at Lowe's. Number 9 man in the order, Elvis Andrus. Pitching out.
Don Wakamatsu again, smelling a rat, nothing doing.
Felix Hernandez, remember, has only lost once in his last 15 starts going back to last year. Certainly he's kept his team in the game as usual, but trailing 3-1.
A rare afternoon indeed. 7th inning of a ball game in which Felix Hernandez is starting. And looking at a 2-run deficit.
A lot of people think he's got flat out the best stuff, just the overall stuff in the major leagues. Runner goes. Hit and run. As Arias will go to third, Elvis Andrus comes through. Runners at the corners, 1 down. Boy, and the Rangers getting a lot of production from the bottom third of the order today, something they hadn't had at all the first few games of the year.
Well, it's just baseball at its purest. Get the runner going, hit behind the runner. Great job by Elvis Andrus. Not a prettier play in all of baseball than the hit and run when it's done to perfection like that, Josh. That is just, whether you're new to the game or have been a fan of the game for 50 years, that's just beautiful baseball.
You make the second baseman move, and then you hit the ball right where the second baseman used to be. Now we'll see if the Rangers run with Andrus. Slashed at a play by Bourbon.
And there's Bourbon chasing that first pitch again. Really not a pitch he can handle. It was a pitcher's pitch, maybe a ball off the plate and down, but yet because he's so aggressive, he's still pressing a little bit. He just can't help himself. He's just got to swing at it.
The left fielders in today's game. Bourbon, well, he's 1 for 19. Bradley is 1 for 20.
Yikes.
That's the danger position. Now one's upstairs. Again, the Rangers, who last year were second in baseball in stolen bases, looking for their first stolen base of 2010. There goes Andrews. And Bourbon
What a
just
jump.
Man, well, Bourbon chipped his bat, fouling the ball off. And yeah, that does spoil the Andrews stolen base. That bat just split right down the middle.
Right down the middle. It looked like Ron Washington playing hit and run again. This time the pitch was down and in. Great jump by Andrews. He would have had that easily. But Bourbon doing what he's supposed to do. Try to put it in play, and he fouled it out. That's the first time, Josh, that I've seen that play not work. It's really being facetious, folks.
We'll see if Andrews motors again from first base. Got to go back. Seattle out hitting Texas 8-7, but trailing 3-1. There goes Elvis Andrews, and Bourbon pops it towards the third base side. Foul ground and grabbed near the dugout. That's Jose Lopez for out number 2. And time now for a DirecTV game break. The only way to watch every MLB game in HD. Call 1-800-DirecTV. CC Sabathia against Tampa Bay. Dealer piling up the strikeouts today. Got Zobrist a couple times. Gets Pat Pearl. Jason Bartlett with a line drive. Mark Teixeira with a solid snag of it. 4-0 Yankees, top 7. The only way to watch every MLB game in HD is DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. That is actually, so far, a no-hitter going for CC Sabathia. That information just passed along to us, and we'll update you on that.
And that no-hitter's through 6, Josh? Is that what we decided, or was it 7?
Michael Young, right center field. That ball carries. Gutierrez is there. 3-1 Rangers at the end of 7 on Fox. protect a 3-1 lead. This guy came up last year at the age of 21, Mark, and he struck out 16 of the first 26 batters he faced.
With a blazing fastball that can reach up to 100 miles an hour.
Andres Blanco takes over for Arias at second base. Joaquin Arias, a big part of things for the Rangers today, had 3 hits off Felix Hernandez. A nice hunch played by Ron Washington, huh?
I was just about to say, Washington must have known something we didn't about King Felix.
Tapper towards Andrews, backing up onto the grass. Throws out Lopez. MLB and People magazine looking for individuals who make a difference in their community. 30 everyday All-Stars will be honored at the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. To nominate, go to peopleallstars.com.
Milton Bradley getting a little welcome back from the local fans here. He'll turn around, hit from the left side.
Wave and a miss.
There's no nonsense baseball right there. Here it is, Mr. Bradley, right down the middle, and a big swing from Milton. Yes.
Yep, and another big swing from Bradley. Felice will hop ahead 1-2.
Once again, power on power, right through it goes the barrel of Milton Bradley's bat.
Bradley traded over from Chicago for Carlos Silva. Kind of our massive disappointment for your massive disappointment. Well, Seattle paid $18 million to Silva for 5 wins in 2 years.
My goodness.
Outside at 95, 3-2. This is what Milton Bradley is expected to bring to the Mariners. This kind of professional at bat, just poised up there, work the count.
Doesn't chase out of the strike zone very often. An on-base percentage guy. Yeah.
Foul tipped into the glove of Teagarden, strike 3.
Teagarden wants it away. He throws it to the inside corner, and Bradley just can't catch up with it. Man, what a fastball this kid has.
Bradley is staying very much under control today. I think that's fair to point out. I mean, you know, if we're going to jump on him for getting a bit out of control yesterday, should at least point out that he's made that adjustment today.
It's been a tough day for him. 0 for 4 at the plate. He's misplayed a ball out in left field. But the sun will rise again tomorrow. That's the way you have to look at things as a Major League Baseball player. You can't let the lows get you too down, or the highs as high as this pop up.
That's Sweeney who pops to Davis, and the Rangers lead 3-1 with the bottom of the 8th coming up. ranked #1 in customer satisfaction 4 years running. By Lexus, the only luxury car maker with 4 hybrid models. And by Sears, Blue Lawn and Garden Crew. Hamilton, Guerrero, and Cruz, 3 mashers for the Rangers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mark Lowe will take over for Felix Hernandez. Lowe, who pitched collegiately just miles from this ballpark at the University of Texas at Arlington. Check out his last year numbers. And for Felix Hernandez, once again, this is 5 straight starts in this ballpark, Gracie. He's gone exactly 7 innings. And again, he gives up just 1 earned run. That, too, is about par for the course. But he leaves losing.
And
sorry, Gracie, hold that thought. On April 21st, Idol Gives Back, returning with scheduled appearances by Alicia Keys, Carrie Underwood, the Black Eyed Peas, and more. Be part of an Idol Gives Back team in your hometown. Log on to idolgivesback.com. Outside to Hamilton. And regarding Felix Hernandez, another situation where he pitches well enough to win, simply will not get a win.
Yeah, and it's because Seattle, to this point in the season, as was the case last year, is just a very limited offensive club. And you've seen that today. A lot of opportunities for Seattle, especially early in the ball game. They left 6 runners on in the first 4 innings and didn't take advantage at all of some scoring opportunities. And at the big league level, that's going to come back and bite you just about every time, and it has here this afternoon. Texas came back and got 3.
Runner thrown out at home plate in the first inning. Second and third, 1 out in the second inning, unable to score. Ichiro a couple times in this game, and it happened last night as well. Was up with a chance to drive in some runs, and it just didn't happen. Hamilton draws another walk, and again, he's not hitting much yet, but patience is a virtue.
Lowe thought he got the breaking ball to the inside corner. Ed Rapuano said nothing doing, so leadoff base runner. And let's see if Vladimir Guerrero is going to take any pitches on. See if he has a different game plan against Lowe than he did King Felix. His game plan against King Felix was swing at everything.
He swings here. Guerrero is 4 for 6 lifetime against Lowe, and he's just trying to fatten up.
I think Lowe should just throw the rosin bag up there and see if he swings at it.
Vlad would tell you, hey, look, why else do I have a bat in my hands? I'm supposed to use it. 16 pitches he has seen. He has swung at 13 of them. Some of them actually in the strike zone. Swinging and making a little contact. It's all good.
Yeah, he can be a lot of fun to watch.
Did your buddy Ed Rapuano get hit again?
Oh, golly, right in that left elbow. You can see that temper. Yeah, you can see that elbow hanging. That one got him good. It's not all fun and games back there. You're not completely padded. Yeah, I'm okay.
Rob Johnson did the polite thing, right? Went out and just kind of made up a reason to go to the mound so the home plate umpire could shake it off.
It's a brotherhood with catchers and umpires.
He took it.
He did not swing at that pitch that was in the other batter's box.
Bulletins at once and weather on the 8th. A guy like Ian Kinsler, who was told to stop swinging so often last year, watches from the bench and says, well, wait a minute. How come Vlad gets to do it all the time? Swinging, driving it into center. And locked up by Gutierrez. The 2010 edition of the MLB on Fox Tune In to Win game kicks off Saturday, April 24th. Make picks for the game you watch. Check online results throughout the game and stay tuned for the 7th inning bonus question. We got bonus questions this year. Finish in the top 3. See your name on air at the end of the game. Register at foxsports.com/tune in. And here is a guy who is locked in. Nelson Cruz, 4 home runs in 5 games. Lift off, right center field, Ichiro back. And it's still 4 home runs for Nelson Cruz.
We just missed that one.
Only other Ranger, Gracie, in team history to have 4 homers in the first 5 games of the year. Dean Palmer did it.
Dean Palmer, I remember him well.
Did it in the last year at the old ballpark back in 1993.
Cruz just missed number 5 there. Just got under it a fraction. Ichiro able to haul it in.
Now, one thing to note is the Rangers nursed his 3-1 lead. Frankie Francisco, the closer.
Been a struggle for him this year.
Yeah, pretty much had nothing in the game the other day against Toronto, and he's going to be asked to protect the lead, it would appear.
And when, Josh, when you say he had nothing, that pretty much means he didn't have his good fastball, his good off-speed stuff, or his command or his location.
Right. I mean, he's capable of
He
all
had
that.
0.
Just didn't bring it with him that day.
And he's one of the more capable closers in the game.
25 of 29 last year. He was among the Rangers done in by Vernon Wells. One of those 4 Vernon Wells home runs was off Francisco. Down and into Davis, 3-0.
Well, let's see if Davis has got the green light with 2 outs here and a runner on first base. I say, why not? Howard hitter like Davis.
Cruz was turned loose on 3-0 earlier.
Yeah. Why not?
He'll take a walk. Blanco to hit for the first time. The bar has been set high. Arias before was 3 for 3. Fox Sports proud to team with the Breast Cancer Research Foundation during the 2010 MLB season. The Breast Cancer Research Foundation helping the most advanced and promising breast cancer research. You can join the fight by texting CURE to 27722 to donate $10, or you can visit bcrfcure.org. I believe that's off of your suit that we took that little freeze frame picture right there.
I wore it well, didn't I?
You really did. Rick Adair out to the mound. And there's Brandon League up again. One more reminder, NASCAR coming up. After this one is over, the Subway Fresh Fit 600 in high def on Fox. A nice little points race going on right now. And Jimmy Johnson barely holding on. Blanco taking low.
I'm a big Jimmy Johnson fan. Of course, that's because I am a front runner.
Well, my son, who's way into it now, is a huge Greg Biffle guy.
Really?
And from out of nowhere, there's Biffle at number 2. Mark Martin won at PIR last year. Anyway, after the game, NASCAR coverage here on Fox. I think 11-year-olds just like the name Biffle. You know,
I think you're right.
Kind of fun to say.
Yeah, I think they like the high speed and the drama.
No doubt. Now, he's a total convert. We'll be watching that tonight.
Oh, you can't live in Texas and not enjoy NASCAR.
No, we'll be seeing that come right on through here next weekend. 2 on, 2 out. And down too low. The Mariners in danger of losing 5 straight in this opening week of the season. Don Wakamatsu's so cool all the time. Not a panic button guy at all. It's only week 1.
That's a good way. He is very cool. I'm afraid he's going to freeze up.
Blanco to left field. Milton Bradley is there. And now it's up to Frankie Francisco. Can the Rangers hang on against Seattle? It's 3-1. And give them a 3-2 record for the young season. It did not go well for him the other day against Toronto, as he gave up 3 runs in the 9th. Seattle will look to do that. And they start with Casey Kotchman. By the way, we'll keep you updated on CC Sabathia, who is still working on that no-hitter in Tampa Bay.
6 out away for the big fella.
Young in a bit at third. Kotchman will check and take a strike.
And a good fastball just right at the bottom of the kneecaps to even the count.
Bottom third of the order here. Kotchman, then Johnson, then Jack Wilson is due. Of course, they got a guy named Griffey off the bench today. There's a base hit for Kotchman. And a collective groan from the Arlington faithful here. Matt Harrison certainly has pitched well enough to win. Today's Lexus Hybrids game-changing player. Matt Harrison had that wobble in the first inning, but boy, Mark Grace, he just got better and better.
He did. His location with the fastball was on the corners all day. Had a terrific changeup as well. He really had hitters like Ichiro and Sweeney, great hitters. Just it was just easy for him today. He was terrific.
And again, nothing coming that easily for Frank Francisco this first week of the season. Griffey getting ready to hit.
Right down Broadway with that one. A big swing from Rob Johnson. But he came up empty.
What Frank Francisco is going to have to deal with after Johnson is Griffey and Ichiro back-to-back. Doesn't have to worry about Ichiro if he gets a double play, maybe. Again, Frank Francisco last year saved 25 out of 29.
Not a more helpless feeling as a manager than when your closer is struggling or maybe losing some confidence. Native starting to get a little restless here.
Yep, as it goes to 3-1. Remember, the Mariners' only run so far was on a wild pitch. Taken for a strike, 3-2.
Johnson thought that might have zipped just inside off the corner, but Ed Rapuano said nope, it was good enough. Now it's decision time here for Don Wakamatsu. Do you try to send the runner and stay out of the double play, or do you keep him anchored?
Kotzman a safe lead, not going, and a foul back.
Francisco got a break there. That ball was up and in. Johnson was able to foul it off.
In the past, Frankie Francisco has pitched exceptionally against Seattle. 30 innings, he's allowed only 15 hits against him. Ball 4. 2 on, nobody out. Time for a DirecTV game break. The only way to watch every MLB game in HD. Call 1-800-DirecTV. So with the no-hit bid going for CC Sabathia, B.J. Upton will test out Alex Rodriguez. Clip and save right there. The no-hitter is intact into the 8th inning. The only way to watch every MLB game in HD, DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV, and there are the numbers on CC.
Well, what a great play that was by A-Rod to preserve the no-hitter. And now it's nervous time here for Ranger fans as Frankie Francisco once again finds himself in a mess here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, and Gracie, now that it's 2 on and nobody out, and maybe a bunting possibility here, Griffey is not going to pinch hit. It's going to be Jack Wilson after all.
We should tell you right there, if you're a corner infielder, that the bunt is on.
Keeping in mind that Ichiro is on deck, but we also throw this out there. Frankie Francisco has owned Ichiro like no one else has. Ichiro just 1 for 11, and he has struck out 4 of the last 5 times he's faced him.
That doesn't happen.
There's the bunt, and it's foul.
Jack Wilson, a good bunter. Spent a lot of time with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Had some good seasons, some all-star seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Just a steady player, both offensively and defensively, can make some spectacular plays defensively. But right now, he's not being asked to be spectacular. He's just being asked to drop down a sacrifice bunt.
There's the bunt, and the play's got to be to first. Not a lot of confidence right now in Frankie Francisco because Darren O'Day is warming in the Ranger bullpen. You never really saw that at all in 2009. When Frankie Francisco struggled, it was just kind of assumed he'd work his way out of it somehow. But here's Darren O'Day, the sidearmer, getting ready.
Well, Francisco, the numbers are on his side, and I'm sure if you're Ron Washington, you see the numbers. 1 for 11 against Ichiro. So he's going to stay with his closer. These are the matchups you pay to see right here, Josh Lowen.
And Griffey is back on deck now, too. Swinging, driving it right center field. Ichiro has come through. 1 run in. And Johnson is held at third. Neither man on base was moving with the crack of the bat. They had to hold up and see what was going to happen for sure.
This just looked like a base hit all the way. Pretty good pitch from Francisco. but really nobody even close to this. I thought this was a bad read by Johnson by holding up that long, and then Brumley not wanting to take a chance at third base of getting another runner thrown out at the plate. So now we're going to get Ken Griffey Jr. with an opportunity to tie the game or maybe give the Mariners the lead.
Now, this is a bit of a stunning turn for the Rangers. One thing that their fans did not worry about at all coming out of spring training was the reliability of their closer. But now twice in the first week of the season, it's a big issue. Griffey swings right away, and the Mariners have tied it in the ninth. Ichiro wheels around to third. 70% now of the hitters that Francisco has faced this year have reached.
Ken Griffey sits around all afternoon for about 3 hours. Digs into the batter's box. First pitch he sees, bang, into left center field to tie the ball game, and another blown save for Frankie Francisco, and a long, long walk out to the mound for Ron Washington.
On the anniversary of Ken Griffey Jr.'s first ever big league homer, he comes through with a game-tying single. 3-3 game in Arlington. A nightmare first week of the season for the closer, Frank Francisco. He's chased away. The last two pitches he threw were RBI singles by Ichiro and Ken Griffey Jr. And now, with Tuiasu Sopo running for Griffey at first, Franklin Gutierrez, the batter, the squeeze is on, and it's fouled. The Mariners looking to take the lead on the squeeze play.
Talk about the element of surprise. Wakamatsu, I think nobody expected. He got the pitch he wanted. That's a fastball right down the middle. Gutierrez just couldn't get it done. He fouled it off.
And he was a great bunter all last year.
But boy, what a good call there. I love that call by Don Wakamatsu. It didn't work out, but you want to pull that. That's a surprise move, and I'm telling you, it surprised the heck out of me there, Josh.
The Mariners still have only one extra base hit in this game. They've got 10 singles. They're trying to little ball the Rangers in a submission here in the ninth. Infield, a double play depth. And the hot shot, base hit. Seattle's got the lead. Of the last 4 pitches now, there have been 3 singles for Seattle. And we had given that stat early in the game, Mark, where the Mariners are averaging multiple hits in an inning about every, 11 or 12 innings, but they've done it here in the 9th.
Here it is in the 9th. Got a breaking ball, just hooked it past Andrews. And boy, the lead balloon is officially hit the Rangers here and their fans.
David Aardsma getting loose for the Mariners. He's got something to close now. Jose Lopez, the batter. Well, if you're Darren O'Day, you're called on to hopefully get that ground ball turn 2. He got the ground ball, but it was wide of Andrews.
Well, it's just a lot to ask as well. To come in for your closer after he fails to hang on to another lead.
That ball squibbed foul. The Rangers are going to have the 8-9-1 part of the order coming up. Felix Hernandez is off the hook. He will not lose this game. Matt Harrison, who pitched so well, will not win it.
You can see the stunned Harrison there. Got the rug pulled out from under him.
Outside, and as we continue to follow the progress of a no-hitter from CC Sabathia, everybody's hitting for Seattle here in the 9th, and Tampa Bay about to come up now, we're told, in the bottom of the 8th inning. It was a long time for Sabathia to sit around and wait, because the Yankees were busy scoring a bunch of runs in the top of that 8th inning. So we'll see if Sabathia can roll back out there and keep on keeping on.
Yeah, sometimes that's the worst thing that can happen, is all of a sudden now your teammates go out and get you about 4 or 5 and maybe stiffen up a little bit over in the dugout.
8-0 to score in that game now. That'll be a nice way to usher in the new season of baseball on Fox with a no-hitter.
Especially from the superstar, CC Sabathia.
Long at bat continues here with Lopez. Bradley on deck. There's a ground ball that O'Day was hoping to get earlier. Young steps on his base, throws to Davis with a straight double play. Keeping the Rangers alive. They're down 1. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Against the ledger of the closer, Frankie Francisco, and now the Seattle closer. What a find this guy was last year. David Ardsma saved 38 out of 42.
That guy just out of nowhere became a quality closer for the Seattle Mariners, and I would imagine probably about 15-20 minutes ago, Josh, he wasn't expecting to get in this ball game in a save opportunity, but his offense got him 3 runs, and here he is.
David Murphy to pinch hit, and he'll take outside. I saw Tuiasa Sopo stays in the game at second. Ardsma had only a couple of claims to fame before last year. One is he looks exactly like the lead singer from Coldplay. And the other one is, alphabetically, he's first ever in baseball. Not Hank Aaron out of the record books. A-A-R-D-S-M-A. Oops. No, A-A. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Boy, and then that's what he's more famous for now. Just some nasty stuff, and Murphy is out number 1. Updating in Tampa Bay, Kelly Shopik has just come through, and the no-hitter ends in the 8th.
See, like I said, how dare those Yankee hitters go out and score those 4 runs for him?
Well, I mean,
cost him a no-hitter. And I would imagine CC he'll get one before his career is over.
We talk about no-hit stuff, guys who are capable of that any time, and he's absolutely one of those guys.
And every time he takes the mound, he's got an opportunity. We saw a guy like that today in Felix Hernandez. Has an opportunity to throw a no-hitter every single time he goes to the mound. There's a guy that's kind of a big shot with the Texas Rangers, knows a little bit about no-hitters, doesn't he? Nolan Ryan.
All he had was 7 of them. Andrews punches one out of play. Ardsma's got some history in this state. He helped Rice win a College World Series title back in 2003 down in Houston.
What a program they have down there.
And now Ardsma, 6 years after that, he, as you said, Grace, he just kind of came out of nowhere to take over as a closer. Got his first 38 career saves last year. And obviously there is now a closer's issue for the Texas Rangers. You know, if it happens once, it's just one of those days. Once it happens twice in a few days, you're just starting to wonder, hey, is he okay?
And that's the thing about the job of the closer. It's such a tough job because
another foul from Elvis.
It's such a tough job, Josh, because you know, if you're a first baseman like I was, and I have a bad game, the team can still win. If I have a good game, the team can still lose. The closer job, if you have a bad game, your team loses every time, and that's the tough part of being the closer. So, you know, there's been a couple of wins yanked out from under the Texas Rangers here in the first week of the season. So I would imagine Ron Washington going to have a little trouble sleeping tonight if things don't work out.
Elvis Andrews still looking for the equalizer, drives it. Gutierrez with a leap, and he got it. And as we continue to talk about why the Mariners are in business to win ball games, Gutierrez represents it. The attention to defense.
Unbelievable catch by Gutierrez. My goodness. Yeah, I don't blame you, Mr. Ardsma. Well, I didn't see that ball being caught. It was just a matter of whether it was going to go over the wall or hit the wall. It did neither.
Looked like it was going to skim out of here had Gutierrez not gotten the glove up there. A defensive revelation for Seattle the last couple of seasons. Wow. And a heck of an at-bat by Elvis Andrews. He was fouling pitches all over the place.
Finally got something he can handle.
Now, we said it right near the top of the broadcast. Seattle still doesn't have a lot of thump in the lineup. Got 11 singles today and scored on a wild pitch. but they can catch the ball.
Tried to call timeout, didn't get it from Ed Rapuano. He was very fortunate right there to hang around.
And the Mariners were so good in the one-run games last year. It's where defense really kind of steps up.
35 one-run wins. That's unheard of.
Up and outside to Bourbon. Michael Young is on deck for Texas. Well, the Mariners were looking at a 5-game losing streak here in the season's first week. And they found a way to get 3 in the 9th.
And if you end up winning this ball game, Josh, these are the kind of wins that you can really piggyback into winning streaks.
Quick conference on the mound. And a quick DirecTV game break will show you what happened there in Tampa Bay. CC Sabathia with 2 outs in the 8th inning. And Kelly Shopik, who's from right down here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, breaks it up. The only way to watch every MLB game in HD, call 1-800-DirecTV. Another foul. And this is the kind of at-bat the Rangers need from Bourbon anyway. Just trying to survive and pass the baton to Michael Young.
That's exactly right. They're their best hitter.
But Bourbon can't make a connection. Seattle has rallied past the Rangers 4-3. Ichiro and Griffey had the big hits late. And the Mariners win for the 2nd time this year. We'll come back to wrap things up from Arlington after these messages from your local Fox station. By the following.